Ethan Payne is a misogynist. At least that's what the internet thinks. I just know him as the friendly Sidemen member, also known as Behzinga. Now, Ethan has a podcast with his missus, and a clip from it has gone viral.
Ethan says he won't propose to me because I want to be Kelly Payne.
Faith doesn't want to take my name.
Just to be clear, her name is Faith Kelly, I think. So she wants to do Faith Kelly Payne, Payne being his last name.
Faith doesn't want to take my name, and that irks me.
No.
Yes.
I want to take your name.
You don't want
I just
to.
want to take mine as well. I'm not saying.
Sounds like she wants to have a cake and eat it. Not like a woman.
I don't want to lose my association with my family.
Just to be clear, if you take someone else's name, you're still associated to your family who gave birth to you, raised you, and did all that good stuff. You don't lose all that. You still get to keep it. I get what she means. I'm just messing. Just let her get to the... Yeah, stop interrupting, Brian.
It's a personal thing. I've grown up with the name my whole life. I like it. I want to keep it.
No.
That's a misogynist. I bet he wants to lock her to the kitchen sink and make her do all the cooking and cleaning and never let her out.
I just believe that's how it should be done.
No.
Yes.
Oh, it's so sad to see a man go down this road, not even listening to her. Does he even want her to have a mind of her own?
Again, this is your one example. All you do is repeat this name. I don't care.
You can tell this podcast isn't scripted. That's for damn sure. Get a tell, big dog. Yes. We ain't standing for this shit. You want all the benefits? Well, put my name on it. Then we'll talk.
I just don't feel like it's a big deal.
That's the
picture.
condition.
Oh, it became a big deal. Because 10 million plus views on multiple clips on Twitter prove this is a big deal to the rest of the world by the sounds of it. It's not just about them. It's what it makes people feel about their own lives.
If you want to be my wife, then be my wife.
The fact that we have to explain that. This is marriage in the UK, by the way. Traditionally, because marriage is traditional, we will put the man's name on the end of the woman's first name, you know?
I will. That's why it's in my name.
But you're half being my wife. You're bottling it.
Bottle job, yeah? You had it in the palm of your hands, you bottled it. Now let's go to the comments, because you lot have had a lot to say. A bloke who will shag and have a kid with someone without getting married, but draws the line at a double-barreled surname isn't traditional. They're just a misogynist. I get the point of tradition would be you get married first, then you have a child. But that doesn't take away from the tradition of marriage within the UK, which is that the woman takes the man's name, which is the point he's making. Now, misogyny, let's look that one up. A person who dislikes, despises, or strongly prejudiced against women. It's not really misogynist, is it, to say, right, you want this traditional wedding, marriage, let's take the other bit of the tradition, which is you take the man's name. I don't think that means he hates all women. Forgive me if I'm mistaken here, but what you've done is turned him into the bad guy, the misogynist, which now means that all women out there will look at you as a right hero. So you've done well, haven't you? People just love exaggerating things to suit what image they're trying to portray to their own Twitter followers. It's the classic. But luckily, we've got this knight in shining armor just to protect us all from Behzinga's hate on women. Let her keep the last name and let her go. Absolutely. This guy gets it, you see? Because I know you've had a kid with her and, you know, you might love her and you've had a lot of time together and you've really built something up, but you've disagreed on one thing, so get rid of her. This guy's cutthroat. He is cold. People just need to stop getting married. It's an expensive contract that benefits the women more than the man. I like the fact that he says more than the man, as if there's any benefit to the man. That's optimistic. You shouldn't need to spend that kind of money to prove how much you love someone. I think there's a little bit of sense there, actually, because this whole big expensive wedding where you invite everyone who you've ever known in your life to come and eat free food and slag off the dress is a waste of time. Oh, we spent this much. We love each other more than all of you lot love each other. Doesn't work like that. So I agree. Maybe just a little quiet wedding somewhere is a better way to go than going mental. But people need to stop getting married. It's an expensive contract that benefits women more than men. It only benefits women, which is why I can't understand why she doesn't want it. But we'll get into that. Soon, Ethan is going to be pronounced as misogynistic and controlling unless he agrees with his wife. She's not his wife. You can't call her that yet. But yeah, pretty much. We're there. We're absolutely there. But we've really been lacking a bit of misogyny in the Sidemen, so this just spices things up a bit, right? Although I thought it would have been one of the other ones. JJ. Yeah. We all were thinking it. Ethan's such a child, mate. If you're not going to wife her because she wants to keep her name as well as adding yours, you've got to question the entire relationship at this point. I'm sure he is, while he's sat holding his baby child. Going, your mother doesn't have the same name as us. What will we do? I get it's a key thing to disagree on, but still, it doesn't bring the entire relationship into disrepute. Should have a meeting with HR in the morning. This guy thinks he owns the place. Probably because he does. He could marry me. Tell you what, pay all my bills. I'll take your last name, Ethan. Payne's quite a good one. It's quite catchy. It's just down to personal preference at the end of the day. I love it when people play both sides. That's my job. Thank you. She's clearly not interested in being his wife. She's more interested in holding on to her family name. Any woman who wants to double barrel a man's surname is not ready to commit solely to that man, his purpose, and his life, and ready to be his wife. In a traditional sense, there may be a point here. We want everything our own way, and we're not willing to compromise on what you have to give up to have titles such as wife. You want the wedding cake, you want the wedding dress, you want the Disney story, but what about the man's side of the Disney story? What about what we want in return for giving all of that over? Now, I don't know these two's relationship, but I'm going to go out on a hunch and suggest that Ethan makes a ton more money than she does, and he allows her a very nice lifestyle. I personally, if I was a woman and I was in that scenario, I'd be grateful to go, you give me your name and I get all of this shit. Brilliant. I'm your family now. You take me on board. We're going to have a load of kids together. Fantastic. I get that that's old-fashioned, but I think that that's a pretty good compromise in that scenario if you have a traditional relationship. But I could be wrong. Let's look at some more comments. If she wants both names incorporated, I see no issue with that. If my daughter wanted to keep our family name, I'd be super proud. Well, good for you, bro. But have you ever considered this? What if she'd met a really, really rich man who was going to make life very comfortable and very easy, and this was super important to him? Would you tell her, fuck that guy, fuck him, fuck his money, tell him keep it? And I'm not saying money is everything, before you all get me on that one in the comments. You can't write it now. Even if he's just a good guy, and really this is really important to him, we're always taught as men that we have to compromise for women's needs and what women want and yada, yada, yada. But why is it so horrendous for a man to care about you taking his name when in the UK, this is what we've all grown up with and knowing? And it's becoming some sort of toxic thing for a man to want that now. If anything, I think that there's a lot of love in giving a woman your name and going, we are the same, we are family. You mean so much to me that I want us to be on the same team. And yes, some people can look at that and go, well, why his name? Why shouldn't it be her name? I'll tell you why. You know, when the burglar breaks in, he's the first one down the stairs, so it's his fucking name. Sometimes tradition, though, it's based on thousands of years of evolution where what a man was supposed to be was the head of the family. And I know that because life has changed now, women are sort of revolting against that, but you can gain so much from taking a man's name that some of you lot are just overlooking, quite frankly. Women want to feel cared for, provided for, protected. Men want to feel powerful and respected. And one of the ways women can play into that is by taking our name, making us feel like that. Oh, we shouldn't need it. Oh, yeah. Sometimes we just want to feel special too. And when a woman thinks, oh, there's nothing I'd want more than to take your name and to be your girl and to do all the... It makes men feel fucking amazing. It makes us feel loved. This is something women overlook a little bit in thinking that it's some sort of horrific power struggle. All right, there's a slight tint of you are mine now, but also we know that I am yours. We have the same name. We are building a family together. And this silly little fight over who gets to have the last name, because now women don't want to give up any power at all because the media have convinced you, oh, if a man shows any dominance at all, revolt, fight back. This is terrible. Meanwhile, he is providing everything in this scenario. Cut him some slack. Fucking hell. And when you take a man's name, it suggests to us that you are completely and utterly committed to being our woman. And it's a great feeling. I just think that people could be a little bit more open-minded to just think that it's all about oppressing women and keeping them in our power and all of this rubbish, because it isn't. That's not how men see it for the most part. For some men, all right, you don't care, fair enough, each to their own. But for some men, they really do want that. And fighting us about that all the time, you're fighting the wrong battle, really. If a guy wants to give you his last name, it's because he adores you. Think of it like that. I know some women just don't want to feel like they need a man, but like if you have a kid with him, you're joined to him for the rest of your life anyway, with or without the last name. And oh, you get rid of the man, I don't need a man anymore. Well, do you know when You're living in your house, a man built it. You know when you switch the lights on, you put the electricity on, men gave you that. If anything goes wrong, your toilet breaks, you need a fucking plumber to come, it's a man on the way. Someone breaks into your house, you need police to come, you're wanting a man to come. This notion that you don't need men, it's just bollocks. And fair enough, like if you don't want men, you don't want to do the marriage thing, but that's each to their own. But like, it feels like some people just want all of the benefits of marriage and without any of the give anymore to men. We're already getting over in the event of a divorce anyway. The least women can do is offer us a little fucking parting gift of like, well, I'll at least take your last name before I fuck you over in the courts. Forget I said that. Forget I said it. Let's all think positively. Bro, that's insane. This is why you should marry, then have a baby. He has given that girl everything. Literally everything. And she can't be bothered. I don't think it's actually can't be bothered. A lot of women are so attached and connected to their family. They feel like by relinquishing that last name, they're giving up that family. They're giving up the love that they have for them. They're not. You're just creating a new family now, and one that you're gonna have with this man, and he is gonna help you make them babies, you know? So how many times are we gonna double barrel? In 2040, we're gonna have a kid with a double barrel name, having a baby with another fucking kid with a double barrel name. We're gonna have 4 fucking last names, all because people want to keep their own fucking identity. Does that sound ridiculous to anyone else? No? Okay, maybe just me then. Brilliant. So I think this is actually a great topic that they've actually put out there, and even though people are having a go and it probably feels a bit crap for them right now, I respect them. They've got balls to just put this shit out there like that. I think that this is a classic example of why marriage is on the down and having babies is on the down, and women are taking longer and longer and longer to settle down because they don't understand men and they don't understand what's important to men. Women, if you want to wrap a man around your finger, the easiest way to do it is to make him feel like a king. Trust me on this. And if you want a man to love you, then stop fighting a man's nature, which is to want to have you as his. And as much as that can be oppressive if it's done in a really toxic and nasty way, if you have a man who is a good man, who loves you and wants you to have his last name, I don't know what you guys are running from, because that is what life's all about. Relationships, being loved and being a part of each other. And I just think that this is being overly complicated by this whole feminist thing where we can't even approach the idea of belonging to each other and having some sort of tradition still a part of society, where we want to rewrite marriage and turn it into something else. Well, I've got news for you. That ain't marriage. It's a version that you've created to suit what your needs are because you want everything your own way. And if you want the ability to do everything that you want and have it all your own way, ask Sophie Turner how that works out. And some of you might be triggered by some of the jokes I've made, but honestly, I'm coming from a good place here. Like, I think that there's some really good points to be approached of how women can better understand men through this sort of stuff. And I know that not all cultures do the whole surname thing, and that is quite a British thing. But for me as a man, I think it's a great thing, and I think it is important. And I fully back Ethan, despite him not necessarily explaining it in the best way on his podcast. We love it. Big love to them. And don't forget, my podcast, the True Geordie podcast, is coming back. We've got the new studio set up and ready. The guests are coming in thick and fast starting this month. Big love to you all. Don't forget to hit that like button. Stay subscribed to the True Geordie YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, and peace.